I think
Hey, we're live. Yeah, we
we
were
might
live.
be here live. Yay!
Hey.
Thank you so much. My name is Pamela French, and I'm the Chief Empowerment Officer of Authentic Relating Ottawa. And I am so excited to reintroduce my good friend, Jennifer Lyall, who is the Intuitive Business Mentor and Chief Energy Optimizer. Jennifer has participated in Authentic Relating Ottawa events before, and it's been a couple of years, but some of you may remember her. So, Jennifer, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much for letting me play with you. This is going to be so much fun.
What I love is how we connect on this super playful nature,
Mhm.
and that we love to find new ways to explore and play with energy, and how we can, direct our emotions and be with the flow. And I see this how to stay calm and grounded in stressful times has really spoken to my heart lately, because I know a lot of people in the community are feeling the stress.
Yeah, it's a really overwhelming time. There's so much uncertainty right now, so many questions. We have no idea. Well, navigating the conditions that we're in and not knowing what's next, how long it's going to be. So it can take its toll on and any person. Like there are lots of people that I see that are just really candidly sharing how it is impacting them in ways that's surprising even them.
Yeah, I know. And it's like one day I might be on fire and I have like 16 hours of productivity. And then the next 2 days, it's all about the naps.
Yeah, and yes, exactly. And what's beautiful is to recognize what your energy levels are for that day and to be kind to yourself about it. So, really honoring that there are going to be times when you need to have down times, but also recognizing that there are times when maybe you're feeling a little bit off and it kind of surprises you and you didn't think that you're going to be off, and then understanding, well, what can you do to shift into a better feeling state just so you can get through the day. Maybe there was a project that you need to complete, and maybe you, like I said, you don't really realize that there's something going on, and it's like, oh, I'm kind of surprised that I don't feel so hot. I've been just going. I forgot to take that pause, and now it's like, oh, maybe I need a little TLC, because oftentimes there's little things that we can do that make a significant difference to ourselves and our well-being.
Yeah. And so I've been eagerly watching your videos on checking your inner battery in the last month. And what a gift of service those have been to the world. Would you care to share more about that with us?
Oh, sure. So first, I feel like taking a step back and talking a little bit about energy in general. And I think that this community here has a great sense of energy from the way you guide them through how they're showing up in conversations and how their communication is landing with people, how they're being heard as well. And when you're aware of what your energy levels are, so we have four different energy bodies: our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and then our spiritual body, our auric field that projects out several feet from us, all the way down there. And I'm sure that most people can relate to having an experience where you can walk into a room where you feel like the energy's off, like maybe there's been a fight there, or there's been a party, like Pamela's been here, and you can feel her signature stamp up that Pamela's been here. So you can feel the energy in the room. And when our own energy field is strong, it's almost like a force field around us, and other people's stuff doesn't bother us. The news, the other people's opinions or perspectives, you can honor that, but you don't have to take it on.
Mm,
But when we are getting all sorts of stuff piled on us and we don't do anything to kind of clean up our energy levels, our energy field starts to be more constricted. And then it's like other people's stuff bothers us more.
mm.
So being aware of what our energy levels are is huge, because it's going to impact our perspective on our relationships, our work situation, and the world. And it will impact our decisions, because when there's more and more of other people's stuff being piled on us, we get really stressed out. And what's fascinating is that when we get stressed out, it actually impacts our decision making. You see, up here in the front of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, that's where we make our decisions from. And that gets compromised when we're stressed out. So it's kind of ironic that the part of our brain that we need to have working the best gets compromised when we are so stressed. So we can learn how to decompress, check our inner battery on a regular basis. We check our phone battery so often. Why not take that same time for honoring ourselves and boost our inner battery if we find that it's low, or recognize that we need to rejig our day and take those naps, just really honoring what's going on within us. And then when we check that inner battery, we can do something about it. We know what kind of course of action to take. And then also know that maybe now's not a good time to make a decision when our reserves are low.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even on Saturday, I had a friend ask me a question and I said, oh, that's really nice. And I'm not in the capacity to make a decision right now, but I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Yes, yes. And it's so important to be able to communicate that to people, right? So even with my family, you know, there's been times when my son's like, okay, I'm gung-ho to do this right here, right now. It's just like, oh, I've got like 5 things on the go. I really want to do this with you, just not right now.
Yeah.
And it also helps then for me to express, because we have all these things that are going on inside of us and people don't see it. They feel it. They might witness it in your expression. They might hear it in your voice, but they don't know about the 5 different things that you're working on right there in that moment until you're able to say, you know what? I need some help. And when you know what your reserves are at, you know when to reach out for that help as well.
Oh, that is so, and it's core to the definition of authenticity that I've been working with lately, which is that self-awareness piece. Like, let's have the mirror, look within. What are my feelings, my needs, and my emotions? And then how can I communicate those around to those around me?
And it's just so transformational to what goes on in the relationships too, right? And yeah, because it's not like, oh, she's just being cranky, like, oh my gosh, like what's up her butt? It's like, okay, I understand now that you've got this and this that you're all dealing with, and how important it is that I, you know, put away the dishes right now, and how much stress relief, or that I get dinner started or whatever, and how much that half an hour will open up for capacity to enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest.
Oh my gosh, checking our battery. I probably check my phone battery like at least 3 times a day.
And how often, it sounds like you're getting into this rhythm though for checking your inner battery too, right?
Sometimes I do, but sometimes more often than not, it's like when a request comes my way, then I check. I'm like, oh, do I have the capacity to deal with this request right now? No.
Okay, well,
or yes.
Yes, that's a great starting point. For me, I check my inner battery in the morning as part of my daily practice, in the evening as part of my evening practice before I go to bed. And then I have it scheduled in my calendar to check at midday, but I'll check between tasks. So when I'm shifting gears, I'll check between tasks. And so it's like, all right, am I feeling in the right vibration to do this next project? Right? So if my battery isn't full, then I'm not going to show up as the best version of me for whatever that is, whether it's working on an email to a prospective client, it could be doing some marketing, it could be a Facebook post, it could be being ready for a client session. So making sure that I'm showing up as the best version of myself, it's just cleaning up my energy field.
Yeah, I love showing up as my best version of self.
Me too. And I love it when you show up as the best version of you too.
Oh, so yeah, from that.
So shall we walk through how to do this little check-in in case people are interested?
Yes, I would love to, please.
Yes. And I wanted to say hello for whoever's watching. Yay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to see if there's any comments or not.
That's okay. We're still here. I see that there are 2 people watching. That might be us, but that's okay. It might be
How exciting.
Yay. All right. So to check your inner battery, what you're going to do is you want to have a pen and paper handy if you can.
Pen and paper, okay.
And you're going to ask yourself 4 questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? And I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
So if you take a nice deep breath and close your eyes. go into your body and really be aware of your body, and even just do a quick scan through your body and ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel physically right now? 1 is low and 10 is high. First number that comes to your mind.
6.
Okay. And then write down a few words around why you're rating yourself a 6.
Okay.
And then the next question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel emotionally? So if you want to put your hand on your heart, you're welcome to do that.
Oh my gosh, that's like an 8.
Awesome. Fantastic. And if there's anything that comes up around why you're rating yourself that number, because this helps you with expanding your awareness as you do this more and more over time. And sometimes I get surprised by the number and it's lower than I'm expecting. So for instance, there was one time I was giving a presentation teaching this process to a group of business women. And I was loving the connection. And as I was walking them through the check-in, I was doing the check-in for myself. And I gave myself a 7. It's like, oh, that really surprises me because I've been loving the connection. And then when I checked in, this was May, and it was just before Mother's Day. And I had seen my mom the weekend before. So I had my Mother's Day visit with her, and I was going to have Mother's Day for me. And when I checked in for why I was rating myself that number, I got that I missed my mom. And it's like, oh, wow, that's really surprising. Okay, well, I'll go see my mom again. Like I love seeing my mom. And we don't realize that there are little things that are going on inside of us that impacting our conversations, impacting how we're showing up. And it could be, coming about in the way of like, we're feeling tired or we're feeling a little sad and we just don't know because we just haven't stopped long enough to ask us what's going on, or there's a little bit of an edge in our voice, or even I was having a conversation a week ago with my husband, and then he was talking about something about a senior woman, and then I was starting to get emotional because he's like, well, don't cry about it. It's just like, well, it just made me think about my mom, and I haven't seen her in several weeks. So it's fascinating what we can discover about ourselves when we just ask. All right. So the next question you're going to ask is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel mentally? So if I was to give you a problem in your zone of genius, so an accountant would be doing with numbers, a mechanic be on a car. If I give you a problem in your zone of genius, how easy would it be for you to do it right now?
I also get an 8.
Nice. That's awesome. And then the last question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I feel spiritually? So this is you and how connected you feel to your religion, the higher power you believe in. It could be just faith that this is all going to work out, your purpose, whatever that might be for you. Or if this doesn't resonate, you don't have to answer that question.
9.
Yay! And if there's any insights that come as to why you're rating yourself that number, maybe you had a really juicy meditation this morning, or maybe you just read something that was really inspiring you and you feel really connected in the moment, or maybe you haven't been practicing your faith and you're realizing that you miss your community of your place of worship and you miss that, so that's just really good awareness as well.
Yeah.
So for me, whenever I have a number that is less than a 7, I need to do something to address it. Several years ago, so a lot of people are familiar with Deepak Chopra. He's a spiritually focused medical doctor in the United States. And he talked about how the medical community has been trying to formulate a single question that could be asked where they can get a sense of a person's general well-being in that one question. And it took them several years to be able to distill it down to this one question. And the question they came up with is, on a scale of 1 to 10, do I have enough energy to do all that I need to do in the day? And if you were 8, 9, or 10, you're thriving. 5, 6, or 7, you're surviving. And below that, so 1 to 4, you're suffering. So if your number, for me, if my number is a 7 or below, I need to do something to address it in that moment. And so I call that an energy boost. So it could also be that I need to take a pause and maybe take a nap and just like chill for the rest of the day, and just being aware of that. Like if you are sick right now, you don't need to boost your body, your energy, you know, go lay down and rest in bed, have your fluids, take care of you. But if you are kind of surprised by some of the things that you're discovering, you know, do something to boost your energy. And I feel like a wonderful technique I'd love to share right now.
Okay.
Is a bit of working with energy. So in my energy check program, I actually teach 10 different energy boosts that are based on mindfulness techniques. This is not one of the ones that I show in the program. So this is a little extra bonus. Woohoo. So when you rub your hands together, we start to get the energy flowing, the chi flowing. And if you pull your hands apart just a little bit, you might start to feel like there's this energy resistance, this ball of energy here in your hands.
Yes.
All right. So it's like, now if you imagine that you're lathering up bubbles and it's that energy, and then you go up your arms and just give yourself, I call this a chi bath.
Ooh, chi bath.
And people have had their sinuses clear. They're feeling stuffy and they've had their sinuses cleared just by doing this. And if you were noticing that, you know, physically your numbers were lower and maybe your knee is bothering you, then you can lather up some chi and put some extra attention around the knee that's bothering you.
Oh my gosh. We should have chi bath parties.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. And then if you check your energy levels again and see how you're feeling now. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel physically?
I got an 8 this time.
Awesome. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel emotionally?
8.
Beautiful. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel mentally?
9.
Oh, fantastic. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel spiritually?
9.
Beautiful. So when it just took us, what, 2 or 3 minutes there to shift the energy. So we did a check-in and we did a little chi bath to shift your energy. Now, if you were to approach whatever is the next project on your to-do list, imagine how much more productive you'll be. Imagine how much more quickly you'll be able to get through it because you'll have the mental clarity. You're emotionally and spiritually connected more. So you're able to get that intuitive insights and the creative boost for being able to problem solve things, listen to your intuition, trust your intuition more. It's really powerful. And in my Energy Check online program, I teach 10 different energy boosts based on mindfulness and action. So we go through deep breathing and meditation.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, it's so simple and so powerful. And I know you're a really big fan of breath work as well. And you know how quickly things shift with the breath. Yes. And just one breath even, you can do a lot of shifting, right? And we look at creativity, we look at movement, we look at laughter and gratitude, and several more. So the intention for the program is, it's wonderful to check your inner battery. We've done it once together here, which is fantastic. But the real gem, the real benefit comes from this when you make this a keystone habit. And so what a keystone habit is when you focus on just one thing. So rather than trying to start a meditation practice and trying to make sure you drink enough water and make sure that you eat mindfully and you try to do all these different things all at the same time, instead of trying to remember to do all of that, you just focus on wanting to create the habit of good energy, that one thing. And then you start to naturally make other good choices because you start to realize how much more you enjoy life when you have good energy. Right?
Oh my gosh, life is so much easier when my energy is high.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like extroverted and out there and creating, but it's when I rate myself at those higher levels, life feels like a breeze.
Yes. Yes. And it can be just bliss and chill. Or it could be extroverted, just depending on who you are and how you express that. And it's all beautiful and where you are in that moment for how you want to express it. So as you start to focus on creating the habit of good energy, the research has shown that it actually takes 66 days to form the habit of good energy. So
Oh,
it's
66
repetition.
days.
Yes, 66 days. So they studied a number of people, and over an extended period of time, they found that on average, it takes 66 days to form or create a new habit. So with this, my Energy Check online program, that will follow you for 66 days, providing you with a guidebook, with an overview, going more in depth into some of the science behind this as to how it works and why it works. And then the energy boost videos. Plus, I also provide you with a journal and a tracking sheet so that you can track how you're feeling. And that's the key, because you start to recognize patterns. You might recognize that it could be in alignment with the moon cycle, different seasons. I didn't realize how much the different seasons impacted me being up here in Canada, right? How
Yes.
gray it is. So I hadn't realized how much that impacts me. It could be cycles in your business or cycles in your own personal cycle. You could discover that there are certain people and situations and tasks that really drain your energy. And when you have this awareness, you can start to be proactive and realize, all right, so I know that I got this coming on. I want to make sure I'm absolutely showing up as the best version of myself before I take anything like that on. So when you have the reinforcement, I send you an email every single day to remind you to boost your energy. Plus, I provide other tips and tricks for how to implement the different energy boosts. And the 10 energy boosts that I provide are just like a starting framework. You'll start to get inspiration for how it can come to life for you. So, music is one of them. And so you might already play an instrument and you just haven't picked up the guitar in ages. Or it could be that for creativity, you love to knit and you just haven't knitted in ages, and you start to do it. Or just listening to music while you are making your breakfast. It's so simple, but it makes a huge impact on the way that you're showing up. I have one participant. There's a group program that actually begins tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning. For 45 minutes, we meet for 10 weeks, and we dive deeper into all the different energy boosts as well. And it's super duper powerful. One of the previous group participants, she has a lot of pain. She has two businesses, and she is an entrepreneur just so she can manage her workload with her physical capability and navigates around that. And with the program, she was able to boost her energy levels so much that she's very outgoing. She's really positive. She loves to have fun. And she shared that during the program, she had gone away for a weekend where she went to a wedding and then also did an all-day workshop. And normally that would have her out of commission for 2 days afterwards. And she's dancing on the dance floor and telling her family, I don't care, I'm having fun. I don't care if I pay for this. And she made it through the workshop. And then on Monday, instead of being totally out of commission, she slept in and then she bounced back to her normal. And it was
Oh,
because she was managing her energy all along the way that she was able to then come back and not be knocked out. So she got a better quality of life and and more productivity and more joy and more fun. It's incredible the impact that this makes once you make it a keystone habit.
oh, wow. And so, did I hear you correctly? There's a call, like there's a group called, so people get to do this together in community.
Yeah, so there's two different versions. There's an online version where you can get everything, you access it all online, and I send you emails. And then there is a group version that begins tomorrow, and it's at 8:30 in the morning. That's Toronto time. And that is all for 10 weeks. We also have a private Facebook group where you'll be able to find an accountability partner, and it will be so much fun. And yeah, it's creating the community so it helps you with staying on track and keeping you accountable as well.
Oh, and I love the timing. The new moon in Taurus. Taurus is my sun sign. I am a Taurus.
Yes.
Birthday tomorrow. And so there's this energy about it's like spring is here for us in the
Yeah,
Northern Hemisphere. And it's time to plant some seeds. And the planting of great energy habits is a good one to plant.
absolutely. And what I really love, and if anybody who's watching this right now wants to check it out, they can take a look at jlyall.com/ARO for Authentic Relating Ottawa. And what I really love about this is we are going through these uncertain times, and this will help you with coming out of it more resilient. It will help you feel more confident, and you'll be able to just navigate these uncertain times, recognize when you're feeling off, and be able to pull yourself out so you don't go into this downward spiral and get overwhelmed with so many other perspectives out there. So I really feel like it's a huge gift for the world right now.
Yeah, tuning in has been a big thing for me. It's like, oh, I need to check within first before I see what's out there.
Yes, yes, it is so huge, so huge. So checking your inner battery, very huge. Absolutely. And I'm just committed with spreading calm in the world right now.
Oh, I love that. I feel like that's a great slogan. I'm committed to spreading calm.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. It's
Jennifer,
fantastic.
I love the work that you do in the world, and I'm really happy to be promoting this with you and for you, and very excited for people to discover how to check their inner batteries and what the keystone habit of good energy could be for them in their lives.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing this. I really appreciate you sharing, promoting this with me as well. And we're all spreading the calm in the world. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Mwah.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Thanks
Thank
for
you so much,
watching.
Authentic Relating Ottawa.
Bye-bye.
Bye.